Welcome to the garden. It is a beautiful winter day here in Minnesota. As you can see, there's definitely nothing growing in the garden, but we do have our indoor plants right over here. We get beautiful sunlight. I think they actually get better sun in the winter than they do in the summer. So here we are inside, and I thought I'd give you guys a little look around. Last week we looked at all our succulents, and here's a couple of those. We've got our ghost plant and our stacking jade. This is our newest container, and it probably looks better from over here. But I want that facing the sun just so they don't get too stressed. I'm starting to turn my plants around like this one. These are lavender sprouts. We grew these from seed. You can tell they're leaning towards us. They were actually facing towards the sun, but I did turn them around. I think that strengthens them up. I don't like to do that a lot, but every now and then, especially for seedlings, it really helps them to grow more balanced. Then I've got a little bonsai experiment, struggling but hanging in there. We've got some snake plant cuttings. These have been going for a long time, but we've got some really great progress. These are so cool. Check it out. We'll do a specific video on those because I think it's really cool. Then we've got some pothos vines. We've got a newcomer. This is a Frosty Fern. At least that's what it's called. I think it's some kind of little dwarf fern, but it's gorgeous. This was a little holiday gift, and it may be struggling a little bit, but I'm giving it mist every now and then. I just spray it about twice a week and water the soil about once a week. And so far it's doing okay. Some of the growth looks brand new too, so I think it's doing great. Right next to our new Frosty Fern is our old terrarium. We're actually coming up on a year anniversary for this. And if we look in the lid right now, check it out. That's a snail. But this terrarium is still going. Look at this thing, it's incredible. Look at all that beautiful growth. And this is in the middle of winter. I just love this. This is one of my favorite projects. And if you guys want to see more, you can check out my terrarium playlist over here. I have another pothos experiment, and these ones are actually growing in water. These I took as cuttings, and they've never actually touched soil. So I'm going to grow those 100% in water and see how they do. Then we have some more snake plants. This is that old one that I broke in half. Really didn't do great, but the plant is still alive. I think this variety is called Black Gold. It really is a beauty, and it's coming back to life. We've got my favorite little snake plant over here. Then we've got some more succulents, some rosemary here in the front. I've got to go through here and prune all this dead material, make way for that new material, maybe transplant this. So we'll give this some TLC later. My geraniums are looking beautiful. Look at these plants. These are incredibly fragrant. That's what I love about these. I just brush up against them. This one and the rosemary too. I almost use them as a sort of natural perfume. They really provide a wonderful scent. Just past the geranium we have some pomegranates. They're kind of hidden amongst the geranium, but that's these ones over here. They have fairly short little leaves, and it's kind of a viney little tree at the moment. It's basically like a bonsai. I've been growing this for about 2 years, so it's not a spectacular plant, but it is still alive, which is a huge success for me. This is something that I grew from seed, but you can do that with any fresh pomegranate. Just save one of those little crunchy seeds, and they should sprout. I planted about 50 seeds, I think, narrowed it down to 3 plants, and now we're down to 2 because I did lose one. I'm probably never going to get any pomegranates off of these, but it's been a really fun little plant to grow. Then we have a snake plant over here in the corner, looking really nice. That's a nice healthy one. And just past that are the mini kalanchoe. And these are still trying to flower. They haven't quite bloomed yet, but we've got a lot of little buds. And past the mini kalanchoe is our newest terrarium. That's our 2-in-1, well 3-in-1 now. Terrarium inside a terrarium inside of a terrarium. This was a really fun project. The moss is still hanging in there. It is struggling a little bit, but that's to be expected of a new terrarium. The tree is still alive, so that's really good. We'll keep a close eye on that. And the terrarium inside the terrarium is really balanced out nicely. And in this one I do keep the lid open and spray it about once every couple days. But we actually found a slug in there the other day. I'll put in a clip of that slug, but we'll definitely have a more detailed update soon. So that's it for this window. Now I'm going to take you upstairs to see a couple more plants. Up here above the garden, we've got a beautiful rosemary. This is actually the first rosemary plant that I ever grew. I've got another snake plant, and then over here are my lemon trees. The one on the right is really struggling. The one that's really doing well is in this little tiny pot. And this container is really kind of small. But I think this allows it to dry out. I don't actually water it until I see the leaves drooping like this. I basically treat this like a succulent. I let it completely dry out. Once the leaves do start to droop, I really like to give them a good soak. I actually let the basin fill up with water and just let it drink it for about an hour. Just under our lemon is where I like to start most of our seedlings. So right here I've got some basil started. I don't see any sprouted yet, but I've planted a whole bunch of seeds in preparation for spring. And even if we do have a really cold spring, we can actually grow basil indoors over winter. But pretty soon we'll fill up this entire rack. We'll have all sorts of seedlings along here. All the way upstairs is where most of my succulents are, and it's because this is the warmest and sunniest window. This is really where they thrive. They love that heat, especially in the winter, and they love lots of sun. That's how you get big, beautiful alum like this. So I think this is where we'll leave you for today. Let me know in the comments what you guys want to see updates on first, but we'll basically have updates on all of these plants. So I hope you stay tuned. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.